My friends, have you ever noticed how we spend years dreaming about success, but only days actually working for it? Isn't it amazing that our mind can imagine a mountain, but our habits barely climb a single step? Today, I want to show you something simple, something practical, something life changing. Not a lifetime plan, just a 21-day plan. Because if you can change your next 21 days, your next 21 years will never be the same. Ladies and gentlemen, in these fast moving times, we are surrounded by noise from the world, noise from people, noise from our own thoughts. And in this noise, success becomes a distant dream. But when we learn to create silence within, when we learn to take one small step each day, when we learn to commit to consistency more than perfection, life begins to change. This is why today I'm sharing with you the 21 days success plan. Not a complicated plan, not a plan that needs money, luck, or special talent. A simple roadmap that anyone, yes, even you sitting here today, can follow. Because the secret of success is not in doing everything at once. It's in doing the right thing every single day. For the next 21 days, promise yourself one thing. I will not be the same person I was yesterday. If you can hold that promise, success will start walking towards you. And in these 21 days, you will experience something magical. The noise will fade, the mind will settle, and life will start blooming in ways you never imagined. My friends, this first key point is something every one of us struggles with silently. Days forever wandering, that phase of life where we spend more time thinking than doing, planning more than practicing, dreaming more than daring. And the truth is, many of us don't even realize we are trapped in it. Every morning we wake up with ideas, beautiful ideas, powerful ideas, ideas that could change our future. But by evening those ideas evaporate because the day became busy with everything except what mattered. We keep wondering, should I start today? Should I wait for the right moment? What if I fail? What if I am not ready? And while we wonder, life moves on. Time doesn't wait for clarity. Opportunities don't wait for confidence. Success doesn't wait for perfect circumstances. It waits only for action. It waits only for commitment. Have you ever noticed how a child learns to walk? They don't sit in one place wondering, should I try today? What if I fall? What if people laugh? What if I am not capable? No. A child simply gets up, tries, falls, gets up again, tries again. There is no overthinking. There is only doing. But as we grow older, we lose this innocence. We gain logic, but we lose courage. We gain knowledge, but we lose momentum. We gain experience, but we lose spontaneity. So many of us have dreams buried inside us not because we lack talent, but because we hesitate too much. We think, we rethink, we overthink, and the moment to act quietly slips away. I remember speaking to a young man who wanted to start a small online business. For 3 years he told everyone, I am planning something big. He had notebooks full of ideas, long discussions with friends, endless YouTube videos saved for research. But guess what? Not a single step was taken. When I asked him why, he said, I am waiting for the right time. My friends, the right time never comes by itself. The right time is created the moment you begin. Life rewards action, not intention. You may have the greatest plan, but if you don't move, that plan remains a dream forever. And sometimes the saddest part is that we don't realize how much time we are losing. One day becomes two become a week becomes a month, and before we know it, years have flown by. We look back and think, I could have been so much further. But here is the beautiful truth. You can change that today. You don't need a perfect start. You don't need great confidence. You don't even need full clarity. You just need the courage to take one small step. That single step breaks the chain of wondering. That single step creates momentum. That single step tells life, I am ready. And when you declare that readiness through action, life begins to open doors you never imagined. Think of a person standing on the edge of a swimming pool, wondering whether the water is too cold, wondering whether they will swim well, wondering whether they should wait for a better moment. They keep staring at the water. But the one who jumps in learns to swim faster. Success works the same way. Don't wait for the water to change. Jump in and let your effort warm the water for you. The fear you feel before starting and the confidence you feel after starting are two different worlds. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes from action. Every small attempt makes you stronger. Every little move makes the next move easier. Every step removes one doubt from your mind. In life, there will always be people who live in the space of wondering how others succeeded, wondering what they could have become, wondering why life didn't change for them. But then there are those who rise, those who take responsibility, those who say, I may not know everything, but I will at least begin. And these are the ones who transform their dreams into reality. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You don't need to know the whole path. Just move in the right direction. And remember, even a slow step forward is better than standing still thinking about running. My friends, in a world that is constantly shouting for our attention, the greatest skill we can learn is the art of silence. The noise silence practice is not just about being quiet, it is about creating a sacred space within ourselves where clarity, strength, and direction can be heard. Every day we are surrounded by noise, notifications, messages, opinions, expectations, worries, comparisons, doubts, and without realizing it, this noise slowly becomes the background music of our life. We start waking up with noise, working with noise, sleeping with noise, and even thinking in noise. The mind becomes restless, the heart becomes heavy, and life starts feeling more chaotic than peaceful. But something magical happens when we intentionally create silence. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of awareness. It is the space where your mind stops running and starts listening. You begin to hear your own thoughts clearly. You begin to recognize what is important and what is unnecessary. You begin to feel your inner strength rising slowly like the morning sun. Even 10 minutes of silence a day can transform the whole shape of your life. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine your phone keeps receiving message after message all day long. If you don't clear the notifications, the phone becomes slow and overheated. Now think about your mind. It is receiving hundreds of emotional, mental, and social notifications every hour. If you don't clear them, your mind overheats. That's why people today feel anxious without knowing why, stressed without a reason, restless even when nothing is wrong. Silence is the reset button. Silence is the emotional delete button. It helps you clear the inner space so you can function smoothly again. I once met a woman who was struggling to make a big life decision. She spoke to friends, watched videos, read articles, listened to opinions, yet the more she gathered information, the more confused she became. Finally, she decided to sit alone in silence for 10 minutes every morning. No phone, no music, no distraction. And after a week, she said, "It's strange, I didn't find the answer outside, but in silence, the answer found me." That is the power of the noise silence practice. When the world becomes loud, wisdom whispers. But you can only hear that whisper when your inner world becomes still. Think of a muddy glass of water. If you shake it, the water stays dirty. But if you keep it still, slowly the dirt settles and the water becomes clear. Your mind is exactly the same. When you live in noise, your thoughts stay muddy. When you sit in silence, your thoughts begin to settle and clarity appears. The problem is not that life is complicated. The problem is that our mind is too noisy to see things clearly. Silence does not solve problems. Silence helps us see the solutions that were already there. Many people say, I don't have time to sit quietly. But my friends, if you don't have time for silence, you don't have time for peace. And without peace, every achievement will feel incomplete. Even great leaders, artists, thinkers, and spiritual masters throughout history made silence their daily companion. Why? Because silence sharpens the mind the way a wet stone sharpens a sword. It trains your attention. It builds inner discipline. It gives you emotional power. When your mind is silent, even small decisions become easy. When your mind is noisy, even simple tasks feel heavy. Let me share a small daily life example. Suppose you are stuck in traffic. The noise around you is irritating, honking, rushing, frustration. In that moment, you have two choices: react or retreat. Not retreat physically, but mentally. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and slip into a small pocket of silence inside yourself. Suddenly, the same traffic feels less troubling. Why? Because your environment didn't change, you changed. You brought silence into noise, and silence always wins. This is the kind of inner strength silence gives you. And the beauty is, silence can be practiced anywhere, in your room early morning, during a tea break, before a meeting, while sitting in nature, or simply while closing your eyes for 60 seconds. Those tiny moments of quietness accumulate. They train the mind day by day. They make you calm in chaos, firm in confusion, centered in pressure. People will look at you and wonder, how do they stay so peaceful? They will not know that your strength comes from the silence you practice every day. My friends, the noise silence practice is not about escaping the world, it is about facing the world with a calmer mind. It is not about running away from responsibilities. It is about carrying those responsibilities with a lighter heart. And most importantly, it is not about perfection, it is about presence. In silence, you meet yourself. In noise, you lose yourself. And today, I encourage you to choose silence, not because life is easy, but because silence will give you the power to handle anything life brings. Sit with yourself daily. Listen to your breath. Allow your inner world to settle. And you will see how clarity rises gently, how worries drop silently, and how life begins to feel more aligned, more meaningful, more beautiful. This is the quiet strength that will guide your next 21 days and the rest of your life. My friends, day progress is a reminder that success is not born in one giant moment. It is built slowly, gently, quietly, through the tiny improvements we make every single day. We often underestimate the power of just 1% growth. We think we need massive change, big decisions, dramatic transformation. But the truth is, life changes through small, consistent steps. A seed doesn't become a tree overnight. It grows quietly in the soil, day by day, invisible to the world, until one day it stands tall and unshakable. The same is true for us. The world may not notice your small progress today, but one day they will see the tree you have become. Let me share a simple example. Imagine someone who wants to get healthier. The first day they say, from tomorrow, I will exercise for 1 hour every day. But tomorrow arrives and motivation disappears. They feel overwhelmed. They skip the workout. A month passes and nothing changes. But imagine instead they began with just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of walking, 5 minutes of stretching, 5 minutes of breathing deeply. 5 minutes seems small, but small becomes big when it happens every day. After a week, 5 minutes becomes 10. After a month, 10 becomes 20. And slowly, without pressure, without fear, without stress, they build a routine that transforms their life. This is the beauty of day progress. It teaches us that we don't have to do everything at once. We just have to do something every day. Many of us get discouraged because we compare today's efforts to tomorrow's dreams. We look at someone successful and think, how will I ever reach that level? But what we forget is that every person who stands high today once stood exactly where you stand now, at the beginning. The only difference between them and the ones who never moved is that they showed up day after day, even when progress seemed invisible, even when progress felt slow, even when no one celebrated them. The world only sees results. It rarely sees the daily discipline behind those results. And if you want a different future, you must be willing to give your present small efforts consistently. Think about a student preparing for an exam. If they study the night before, they feel stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, and unprepared. But if they study a little every day, even 20 minutes, they understand better, remember better, and feel more confident. The mind works the same way in every area of life. A little effort every day is more powerful than a large effort once in a while, because consistency molds the mind, builds habits, and sharpens focus. Daily progress keeps you connected to your goals, even on the days when motivation is low. I once spoke to a man who wanted to write a book. For years he kept saying, "When I have time, I'll start writing." But time kept slipping away. He waited for perfect inspiration, perfect peace, perfect energy, but none of those came at the same time. Finally, he decided to write just one paragraph every day. Just one. One paragraph is easy to do, it takes only a few minutes. But 365 paragraphs later, he had written an entire book. It wasn't perfection that made him successful. It was daily movement. It was day progress. And sometimes, that is the only secret you need to keep moving, even in small ways. Small progress doesn't just change your life, it changes your identity. When you take one small step today, you begin to see yourself differently. You begin to say, I am someone who follows through. I am someone who improves. I am someone who grows. And once your identity changes, your actions follow effortlessly. This is why even 1% improvement matters, because 1% growth every day doesn't stay 1%, it multiplies, it compounds, and within months your life looks completely different. Look around at nature. A river doesn't cut through rock because it is powerful, it cuts because it is persistent. The sun doesn't rise one day and shine for a week, it rises every morning without fail. A tree doesn't grow with one rainfall. It grows because tiny drops fall consistently. Nature teaches us daily progress long before humans put it into words. Nature shows us that gentle daily effort can achieve what forceful effort cannot. And most importantly, day progress teaches us patience. It reminds us to trust the process, to not rush the journey, to not expect immediate results. Many people give up because they can't see instant outcomes. But progress is often silent. Growth is often invisible. Change is often gradual. Just because you don't see results today doesn't mean your effort isn't working. The seed underground is growing even when you see nothing on the surface. Your life is the same. Your daily effort is shaping you, strengthening you, building you, even when the results are not yet visible. My friends, the most powerful version of you is built through small actions repeated daily. Wake up with the intention to grow just a little, improve one skill a little, practice your discipline a little, train your mind a little, move your body a little, speak kindly a little, forgive a little, learn a little. These little things, when done every day, will create a life you once only dreamed of. This is the quiet magic of day progress. Slow, steady, simple, but transformative. And if you stay committed to this daily growth, even for the next 21 days, you will see how far you can go, how strong you can become, and how beautifully your life can change. My friends, morning discipline is not just about waking up early. It is about waking up with intention. It is about deciding that the first hour of your day will belong to your growth, your peace, your mind, and your purpose. Because the truth is, the morning sets the tone for the entire day. If your morning is rushed, stressed, distracted, and confused, the rest of your day follows the same pattern. But if your morning begins with clarity, calmness, and a sense of direction, your whole day becomes aligned. Morning discipline is the art of choosing how your day begins instead of letting the world choose it for you. Let me share something simple yet powerful. Most people today wake up and immediately check their phone. The moment their eyes open, they invite noise, notifications, messages, social media, news, comparisons, problems, expectations. The mind, which should start in peace, begins in chaos. It's like waking up and instantly opening all the windows of your house during a storm. Everything messy enters first, but imagine a different morning, where the first thing you receive is silence, gratitude, breath, reflection, and focus. Imagine beginning the day with your mind as your master, not your phone as your boss. That is where real morning discipline begins. I once met a man who told me he always felt stressed throughout the day, no matter what he did. He said, "I don't know why my day always feels so heavy." When I asked him how he starts his morning, he replied, "I wake up, check my messages, scroll for a bit, rush to get ready, and then leave." That was the problem. He wasn't starting his day, the day was starting him. He wasn't leading, he was reacting. So I told him, don't let your morning be stolen by the world. Guard it like treasure. He decided to spend just 10 minutes every morning sitting quietly, breathing deeply, and thinking about what truly matters. And within a week he said, "My whole day feels different. I feel more grounded, more patient, more clear." This is the quiet power of morning discipline. You don't have to change your whole routine. You just have to start with intention. Think of the morning as the foundation of a building. If the foundation is weak, the entire building is unstable. But if the foundation is strong, the building stands firm no matter how strong the winds of life blow. Morning discipline builds a strong inner foundation. It prepares your mind before the world demands your attention. It strengthens you before challenges arrive. It fills your heart before responsibilities begin. Without morning discipline, you begin the day empty and then spend the rest of the day looking for strength. But with morning discipline, you begin the day full and the world cannot easily shake you. Let me give you a simple daily life example. Picture two people. The first person wakes up late, rushes to get ready, doesn't eat properly, runs out of the house stressed, and starts the day with anxiety already rising. The second person wakes up with calmness, stretches a little, drinks water, sits quietly for 5 minutes, thinks about their goals for the day, and steps out with clarity. Both may experience the same challenges in the day, but their responses will be completely different. The first person reacts, the second person responds. The first person feels overwhelmed, the second person feels centered. The difference is not in the day, the difference is in the morning. Morning discipline is also a beautiful reminder that your life is your responsibility. No one can create peace for you. No one can organize your mind for you. No one can tune your heart for you. Only you can do that. And the morning gives you that sacred time. Even spiritual seekers across the world emphasize early morning calmness because the mind is naturally quieter, more receptive, more aware during those hours. It is like fertile soil ready to receive seeds of wisdom, resolve, and discipline. Some people say, "But I am not a morning person." My friends, morning discipline is not about waking up at 4 a.m. or forcing yourself unnaturally. Morning discipline simply means wake up with purpose, not panic. It means the first moments of your day should be yours. Whether you start at 5 a.m. or 8 a.m. does not matter. What matters is what you do in the first 15 minutes after you open your eyes. Fill those minutes with intention, not distraction. When your mind meets peace first, it walks with peace the entire day. When your mind meets noise first, it carries that noise everywhere. And the beauty of morning discipline is that it builds inner confidence. When you begin your day with a small victory, waking up when you said you would, breathing with awareness, reflecting with honesty, you feel empowered, you feel capable, you feel in control. These small victories in the morning create big victories later in the day. They give you momentum, they create a positive flow, they transform your energy. My friends, there is nothing more powerful than a disciplined morning. It teaches you self-respect, it cultivates patience, it strengthens your mind, it sharpens your focus. And most importantly, it sets a tone of peace and purpose that guides every hour that follows. Choose to start tomorrow differently. Don't let the world claim your morning. Claim it yourself. Sit with your breath. Sit with your thoughts. Sit with your purpose. And when you rise from that silence, you will rise stronger, clearer, and more prepared for the beauty and challenges of the day. This is the quiet power of morning discipline. Simple, gentle, transformative.